President Joe Biden is heading to Europe for a number of emergency summit meetings about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Biden will meet with other NATO leaders in Brussels, where they hope to finalize a package of new measures and punish Russia and demonstrate Western unity. World leaders will also discuss how to further help Ukraine and what happens if Ukraine can no longer withstand Russia's assault. A special session of the European Council and a gathering of G7 countries is planned. Biden's trip is expected to start on Wednesday. His trip coming amid global pressure for China to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine. President Biden had a high-stakes phone call with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Biden reportedly warned Xi of consequences if China helps Russia militarily or economically. After the call on Friday, China said conflict and confrontation are not in anyone's interests, but China has yet to publicly denounce Russia's actions. Joining me now is Chuck Todd, moderator of Meet the Press. Chuck, good morning.
Good morning, Christy.
Right now, the U.S. is keeping a close eye on China after President Biden warns China's president of consequences and possibly secondary sanctions if the country tries to help Russia in its war in Ukraine. But given the ripple effect that we have seen here in the States following sanctions on Russia, do you think it's wise to play the quote, who blinks first game, given the possible economic fallout that comes with imposing those sanctions?
Look, you bring up a good point, Christy, and that's something I think we're all hoping China doesn't test that, which is, do they make the same assessment? U.S. economy is kind of precarious right now. Public's not in a good place. The last thing they want to do is have more disruptive supply chains, and certainly sanctioning China would do that. Then again, their zero COVID policy has already wreaked havoc on our economy as it is. So I don't know if necessarily anything, a secondary sanction right now would have any greater impact. We're already dealing with these economic disruptions, whether it's cutting off Russian gas, which has lifted energy prices, or China's decision with the zero COVID, where they've shut down important manufacturing towns that also impact. But look, the good news was, rhetorically, China and the United States were on the same page in this call. Right? They put out their readouts, and it actually looked like they both participated in the same phone call. Sometimes you get readouts from rival countries, and you're like, did they have the same conversation? In this case, they did. Look, China rhetorically took a step away from Putin. They respected Ukraine's sovereignty. They condemned the war. They didn't condemn Russia, and they certainly said, hey, the West, NATO expansion is partially to blame here. But the fact that they respected Ukraine's sovereignty is a big deal here. Let's see what they do, though. They say good things about sanctions against North Korea at times and then quietly work behind the scenes to help them get around sanctions. Do they do the same for Russia? This is a case where we have to watch what they do more than what they say.
Biden's trip to Europe this week, what's the thought process and what does he hope to accomplish?
Look, this is about making sure all of NATO leaders continue to be on the same page. But I think that all of the leaders have to take a breath here and figure out what are they going to do next. They want to support a peaceful resolution here. But at the same time, Putin is intentionally targeting civilians. We are watching war crimes take place in real time. This is no longer accidental targeting of civilians. This is intentional. Is NATO going to continue to sit there and watch this? And I think that is going to be, among the conversations, which is these NATO leaders have to decide what are their red lines. They probably have one on chemical weapons, but do they have a red line on civilian attacks and how much they're going to sit there and watch this happen before they feel the need they have to intervene?
Meet the Press airs at 10 following a weekend morning here on 11 Alive. Thanks, Chuck.